Guys, today I want to talk about one of these dumbest brands out there that nobody can make any sense out of. And I think that's the general consensus with a lot of people, is that this is the dumbest brand. I don't get it. It's way overpriced. It's plastic. It looks like a Hublot. Like all this different stuff that nobody understands. And it really makes these watches, especially because they're so unattainable, it allows for people to just create whatever they want to create in their heads about these pieces. I know that that's the way that I used to feel. They were so unattainable. I was like, who would pay that kind of money for that watch? I'd rather have this, I'd rather have that. That's just the way that I felt. So I can totally relate with a lot of you who haven't had a lot of one-on-one time, or just really don't understand, or just haven't been educated on why these watches exist and what makes them special in the first place. The brand that we're gonna talk about today is none other than obviously Richard Mille. This is an 1103 on my wrist, by the way, in red NTBT, available on our website, and we'll talk about it more here in a little bit. But what I really wanna talk to you guys about is Richard Mille as a brand and why they exist and why people would spend the money on it, and kind of give you a little bit of why they're made in certain materials. So Richard Mille actually used to work for Audemars Piguet, bored with some of the just traditional ways of doing watchmaking, and with the Royal Oak and some of the stuff that AP had, he really wanted to create something that was a little bit more fun, that was different, that was out there, something fresh, something young, something crazy. It's kind of like those CEOs that you hear about, like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, those crazy guys that either they're too crazy where they're gonna fail, or too crazy where they're gonna become billionaires. And that's really where Richard Mille was. I remember when they first started coming out with these watches. I have a friend who used to work at a jewelry store, and I remember when that 1101 came out and they said it was gonna be like $80,000. And all these people were like, what in the world? These watches are never gonna sell. What they didn't realize is that these watches were not catered for the general public. These watches were catered to that 1% client that wants something that nobody has. They've had the Submariners, they've had the 5711s, they've had the Royal Oaks. All their buddies have them. They want something different. They want something young. And that's where Richard Mille came in and established a place in the marketplace. That's where they came in and catered to a different demographic completely, and really took the market kind of by storm once they started doing some of their crazy marketing. They're obviously known that they do a lot of ties with F1. They came out with some pieces, especially like in 2007 when they came out with the ARM 011. It was really the first watch that really collaborated with F1. They named the watch the 11 FM, which was for Felipe Massa, one of the most popular drivers at the time. And they really just dove into that head first and made sure that even the design cues of the watch had things that were inspired by F1. Then in 2014, they came out with the watch we're gonna talk about today, which is the 1102, which then led to later models like the 1103. And the reason I wanna talk about the 11 in general is because the 11 to me is one of those watches, especially the 11 and the 1102, is one of those watches that I think is that perfect price point. They've stayed very steady on the market. And I get a lot of clients that go, if I want to buy my first RM, which one should I buy? Let's go back a little bit though. With Richard Mille, to give you guys to understand, for you wondering like, why would anybody buy that, is, again, you're catering to a market of individuals who, they want something different. They don't want the same thing. The other thing too is that the watches are innovative in their materials, they're innovative in their design, they're just different from anything you see out there. They're statement pieces, and that's really what makes them attractive to some individuals. Now, I know some of you guys love under the radar pieces, more traditional pieces. This is not necessarily the watch for you, but this is for that guy that likes that statement piece, that likes more of that loud, lavish lifestyle. This is really more of the watch for that kind of individual. The other thing too is to keep in mind is a lot of these clients that buy these watches, they buy it because what other asset can you buy that you can travel with that allows you to have $2 to $3 million with you and fly under the radar? You can't really do that with gold. You can't really do that with anything else except for maybe some rare diamonds and things of that nature. But are you really gonna travel with just a random diamond in your suitcase? No. So you're probably gonna buy something you're actually gonna use, like an RM. You could literally get a watch roll with 6 RMs and you can have $2, $3, $4, $5 million with you at all times, and nobody would be none the wiser because everybody else just thinks they're some crazy watches. That's why these individuals buy them. These watches are just something that you can carry money with, something that not anybody has, and it's just something that separates themselves from everybody else. It's from a brand that only makes about 3,000 pieces a year, versus Rolex and other brands are making millions of pieces, hundreds of thousands of pieces, depending on the brand. So it's just way, way more exclusive. And it's just something, again, that not everybody has. The other thing to keep in mind is they're using innovative materials. So with the new marketing of F1, they're using their carbon and ceramic infused materials that they call MTPT. They're doing these skeletonized movements. They're using titanium. They're using all these different materials that are innovative that at the time were not very popular in the watch world. Nobody was using ceramic. Nobody was using titanium. Everybody was using stainless steel, rose gold. So they use all these materials that really allowed for a lightweight watch, a very crazy looking watch. Like, you know, what other watches out there use this layered ceramic and carbon? Nobody's doing that. It just is a wild looking piece. This is something you would see in a supercar. It's like you see these Koenigseggs, you see these Paganis all with exposed carbon. That's really what they're trying to cater to. All these cars that are using carbon just to be more lightweight, that's what they're leaning into. F1 inspired, race car, supercar world. They wanted to be the supercars on your wrist. That was their whole thing. And so today I really want to talk about one of the watches that I think is perfect for that individual who wants to get into RM, but they don't necessarily want to buy the Ferrari California of watches. And what I mean by that is when you go to buy your first Ferrari, you don't typically want to look at a California. You're typically looking at one of their stronger lineup cars, like a 458, a 48, or in this case nowadays, the 296, the SF90. Those are the ones that people want, the more desired ones. But if you can't afford that, you just buy a Ferrari California, which is still an awesome car. I don't want to downplay that, but a lot of clients who are getting into this world kind of feel uncomfortable buying that lowest entry point to the brand because they just feel like they've cheapened the experience. And so they always ask, what's a watch that's stable, that's not the most expensive, that is going to give me the full RM experience, and that's going to allow me to just feel comfortable wearing this anywhere I go. You don't necessarily want to buy the cheapest entry point because you want it to feel the full RM experience, but you also don't want to spend all the money because it's the first RM and you're just not comfortable yet. You don't want to go head first into that world. There's a couple of watches that come to mind, but specifically for me, the one that just really checks off all the boxes as far as having the design, as far as having the size, as far as having the function. For me, it's going to be the 1102 or the 1103 variants. But today I want to focus on the 1102. Today we have a 2015 1102. This watch was introduced in 2014, so it's fairly modern. It's going to have a lot of the design cues that you saw on the initial iteration, the 11, which was introduced in 2007 in collaboration with Felipe Massa. One thing to keep in mind of why this one I think is just better than the 11 or some of the predecessors is the way they started doing the skeletonized movements. It's a lot more skeletonized and translucent. You see a lot more of the layers versus some of the previous models. They were skeletonized, but it's hard to explain. They just were very one-dimensional versus more of the newer RMs are definitely way more three-dimensional. You can see a lot more depth in the movement, and it's just more interesting. The other thing that they did with the 1102 is that they put a lot more colors on the dial, making it easy to switch out with different color straps. So if you have a green strap, a purple strap, a baby blue strap, camo strap. Also with this watch, because it's based on the 11, you can have the single vent, you can have the double vent, you can have the McLaren vented straps. It just allows for a lot more versatility with the straps. The other thing to keep in mind is that this still keeps that annual calendar large, oversized date at 12 o'clock, which I really like and really think is very useful. It's one of my favorite functions about this watch. But you still have the annual calendar part of it. You also have the flyback chronograph function in there, which is awesome. It has a 24-hour totalizer, and it has about 50 hours of power reserve, which makes it really user-friendly. I just love this watch. The other added function about the 1102 that I like over the 11 or even the 1103 is that you have the GMT function. So if you're somebody who travels a lot, not only do you have the GMT, but they added a 9 o'clock push button so that you can adjust this on the go really quickly, and it allows you to set it. So no matter where you are, if you're jet setting, you can always adjust this on the go, which I think is just incredible. Some of the design cues that I love about this watch is, again, they're F1 inspired. So all the buttons here are machined to look like a gas pedal. They really went with that design. The grade 5 titanium crown is really nice. Again, F1 inspired, which I really like. And honestly, the size and the presence of this watch is full RM experience. Some of the other models like the 05, the 10, or even the new 72. For some of you who are not used to the big size, those might be the watch for you, but really the whole RM experience is about being a statement, being loud and in charge, which is what makes me really like the 1102. The 1102, again, one of my favorite options. You can find them for sub $200,000, which we have done for this particular client. I just think when it comes to the market and what's gonna be safe to park some money in and enjoy it, I really like this piece. There's an individual online that has a course called Exotic Car Hacks, and he talks about cars that you can get into, that you can drive and keep up with. And when you sell them, because you sell them for pretty much the money that you bought it for, you don't really end up ever losing any money. And this is one of those watches where it's been so stable long enough to where I feel confident you can buy this, and the cost of ownership is gonna be, if not free, very low, which I think is an awesome perk about this particular model. Another model that I think is at that point is the 1103. Particular models of the 1103, like this 1103 in red NTPT, is also a model that I think that if you buy it in this current market, this watch used to be $750,000. You could buy this watch today here for around $300,000, a little over $300,000. That's a huge margin. Although that might be scary to some of you, seeing the market where it's been prior to COVID and where it is now, I feel confident that this is a watch that's gonna maintain current market value, and it's gonna be a safe bet so that if you wanna own this piece, you can always purchase it. And again, cost of ownership can be a lot lower, or a lot of times you can even get out of it scotch-free. Guys, the 11 is one of my favorite models. I think it's the creme de la creme when it comes to RM experience, to the functionality, to the look, and to everything you look for. There's a plethora of different options, from titanium and rose gold like this one. There's also full titanium models. There's NTPT models, there's ceramic models. It's just a large variety and a lot of different specs that you can get, which makes this my favorite. So again, to recap on everything that we just spoke about, if you're looking to get your first RM piece and you have a budget around 200,000 or less, I think this really checks off all the boxes for you. And I feel confident that you're gonna be safe in the market and with the market value on this watch. If you ever bring this back to me, I know that I have a plethora of clients that would be willing to take this for pretty much the same price that you would buy it for. And that's what I like about this watch in general. So guys, if you're interested in this piece, visit our website, fill out the contact information on our website. You'll be put in touch with one of our amazing sales reps, and we'd love to get this piece into your hands.
24 years in the British Army.
Yeah.
Did you always know that you wanted to do that?
Yeah. Well, when I was a child, I was always in trouble with the police, and
Yeah.
and they said either join the army or you end up in prison for the rest of your life. So that's what I did.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Here we go. So how did you end up in Dubai?
I own a pharmaceutical company, and when I've been on operations, I just saw this that was out there, and I just thought, you know, I need to do something for humanity here and give something back. So I set up a pharmaceutical company to give back, and that's what I do.
That's beautiful. How do you like living in Dubai? Is it nice?
Incredible.
Oh, I bet. I've heard so many things I want to visit so badly.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. It really is.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. We're looking at two here, and you said you kind of want to learn from me a little bit about the process of how do we verify like the watch is matching with its box, its card, and the date and all that. So I told you this one is brand new, 2024. This one was slider 2024. This is what I would say. Since you're interested in the slider, you take a look at it and you say, all right, yes, he is giving me a watch that looks practically brand new. It's beautiful. You compare the two next to each other and they look practically identical. Then what I would say is this. So I pull out the box for it, and you can see I've got bezel protector, green tag, which comes with, and then the white tag. Okay, the nice thing is it comes with all three. Sometimes the ADs leave these out,
correct.
right? Sometimes they'll forget the white tag or whatever it may be. What you can do is this: you pull out papers, you see you've got your manual for it, your warranty booklet manual for it, and then the card. The card is what gives you the date, right? So this is going to be May 1st, 2024. All right. The important part about this, matching the card to the watch, is matching by serial. So first off, I'm going to match white tag serial to the card serial, and I'm going to make sure that matches. The serial's underneath. The top is the model, the 126610 LN, right? Underneath that, so I can see that's matching. Underneath that is the serial, and I see bingo. I have matching serials.
Okay.
Now I want to match this also to the watch itself. What Rolex does with all of their newer watches is in the rehot, which is that internal part there where it says Rolex, 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 At the 6 o'clock side, you'll see that there's a serial in there.
Okay.
And if you take a look at that serial, you can read that yourself here. So that's what lets me know, okay, that watch is exactly tied to this. That's the date written from the AD. This watch was literally fresh date 1 month ago. It's got everything here with it. And you can even double check and say, okay, look, you know, for links, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the reverse, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That adds up to 11. And that's correct for their newer watches because they have this double, yeah, the half and half links. So it's 11 plus those half and halves, and that gets you to full links. So now that's kind of what I would do if somebody placed this watch in front of me. And now you know you're looking at exactly what I was telling you.
Yeah.
Plus, you're getting better bang for your buck in this particular instant.
Let's go ahead.
All right, let's do it. So what I can do is I can get you checked out over here at my desk. All right, everybody, so this is Gary. Gary's coming in and he's looking for his first Rolex. Just moved to Dubai recently. He's got his own company and looking to get into his first Rolex piece. So he was looking, he knew he wanted the black sub, and we had a few options. We found the one that is most workable for him. And he's getting into a 2024 slider, beautiful black sub. I think it's a really smart buy. This is gonna last you a long, long time. Take it to the back, get it all wrapped up.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is just, exciting.
Absolutely. Congratulations on your first Rolex.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous, yeah. There it is.
Yeah, that is just...
You're gonna get a lot of wonderful wear out of this thing. Look at that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, very proud.
Yes,
Yeah,
good.
I've done it.
You should be. You should be. Yes.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is an absolute stunning piece.
Yes. I'm excited for you.
So am I. I just can't believe it. I've got a Rolex.
Yeah,
It's
that'd be
taken
great.
me 53 freaking years, like, but yeah.
But you're here, and that's the point. Well, congratulations, Gary. I'm glad you swung by.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. Have a safe flight too.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your time out here.
Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate that.
My pleasure, Gary.
So proud.
Good. You should be. You should be, Gary.
Take care.
That is one of the best feelings when he's like, because he walks out and he goes, I'm so proud. And I was like, Gary actually went to an AD and they didn't have anything for him. We actually have some good friends who work at the AD, and they said, you know who might be able to help you is Wolven. So he came across the street and I was like, I have more than enough. I've got options on options of Submariners right now to help you. And so he came in and he bought his very first Rolex, the black Submariner. And for him, he lives in Dubai. He moved there like 9 months ago. So he's just taken his company and headquartering over there. And I'm excited for him because he's like, this is something that I need for all my meetings, working with clients. It's kind of like, you've got to have one. And he walked out just super proud. So congratulations, Gary. We're happy for you.
I just want to put it on my wrist and just make sure that, you know, like I love it. And then, and then I'll give you a call back. What didn't he like about it? Or it just wasn't his thing? Like, was he buying it, do you think, to resell it? Or do you think he was buying it, like, okay.
Yeah,
so
that was
it was always going to be a money-making thing.
His initial thing was that he wasn't really sold on it to begin with, and then he was going to wait until he actually got it to make his decision. And then once he got it, it kind of solidified his original opinion, so he was never really into it. That's just his personal opinion, obviously. Plus, as an investment, if you don't like the watch, it's smart to get it anyways, because then you can get whatever else you want. So it's like, it is what it is. But
dude, if I came off the list for that at Rolex, you did the right thing. Well, thank you again. I will. I'll take her. Actually, I may even go tomorrow. I'll try to get there before the weekend, and if I love it and it's still around, I'll give you a call.
So I got a pretty cool, unique situation. I remember in the back of my head that there was a client that was looking for a titanium Yachtmaster. He always said that if we sold his consignment watch, that he would potentially apply that to getting a Yachtmaster. And we hadn't talked in a while, so I wanted to make sure that I gave him a call, because I recently got a call saying that someone had actually just received one as well. So perfect timing, if you ask me, for that client to potentially get it, and then my client to buy it off of me. So in this case, it's kind of a unique situation where I'm just more brokering the deal versus actually getting it in, because my client does want a safe sale and he only wants it to end users that are actually going to be able to use it and not obviously blast him to their AD and stuff. So this is a unique opportunity where I can actually quite literally broker it to the exact person that wants it, which is an end user that I know for sure is going to be able to wear it and love it and enjoy it. And then potentially with this client, if I do sell his watch, then he might actually look into a certain Patek that he's looking for. That's kind of what's in the pipeline. I'm really hoping we can close this deal for him and then do that trickle effect, so to speak.
Well, so it's 3 options. It can be one here tomorrow for $265, and then it can be...
I wouldn't do 3 options, I'd do 2 options.
That's what I'm saying, then drop.
No, we could still quote week and a half and get it here sooner. And then it's better for...
I'm not gonna quote 255, because if it doesn't move, we're sitting...
No, I'm not saying 255, 265.
Okay, so you're saying that if we actually quote it, you see what I'm saying? It is not at a good price for me right now.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, unless we talk to him.
Right, which is why I'm saying, what if we do this? I tell him, hey, 265, right? I can get it for you tomorrow. 265 tomorrow, done. There you go, no question. If you want it to be a little bit better of a price, I could do...
Which is the original price we quoted him?
No.
Okay.
260. I could get that 2 to 3 days. And then if you wait, right, and give me like a week and a half, I can do my, the 255 option will come in. Is this super loud to the audience? Oh, I pressed your on button, sorry.
The explosion.
Yeah. Just ready? Explosion. So Andrew and I were just considering what the best options are for sourcing a Lama for my guy Steve. I've actually been working with him for a few weeks now. I think we filmed a little bit of footage when it first started, but my guy Steve is wanting to kind of liquidate a lot of the rest of the watches that he has besides a few of his favorites. He's 75 years old right now and ready to just focus on the watches that he knows he loves and then a couple that he wants to gift. Well, how about this for a gift? He wants to gift a Lama to his son. We've been working on some options and I've got 3 different ones I'm looking at. One is from one of the dealers that we work with, and then I've got another guy in Australia right now that I can work with too. And then I've got a new source and he's in Portugal. So we're looking at options because each one of them has a different shipping timeline to get it here for me so I can give it to Steve. Each one of them as well, my cost is slightly different. So I'm trying to get best bang for my buck, but also best bang for Steve's buck and on a winning timeline so that we're looking for a win-win-win scenario for everybody involved.
Like chicharrones? Like fried?
No, roasted.
This right here, Sam?
So good. What's up?
This is the most important part
Chicharron.
of what we do.
Dude, this and the 12 pack of beer, bro, going a long way.
Just dry.
For real though? Baconettes? We need a sponsorship over here because a lot of us are on the carnivore diet and we need chicharrones.
Oh.
So if you want to sponsor Wolven with the carnivore diet and your chicharrones, email us.
Alright guys, this is the best invention from 1800th century. I was reading these research papers back when I was in college. They talk about the history of how they make these chicharrones and like why would they come up with like, you know, the pork skin, put in the super hot oil, fry and become like this deliciousness that become #1 selling snacks in 7-Eleven. It's because I lie. I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is really good.
What's going on right now?
We're trying to get sponsored by Baconettes because of the carnivore diet.
Oh my gosh.
It's
That's a good point. You want a baconette?
It's a good day for GMTs and subs. If you guys are looking for one, we've got plenty of options. In fact, we've got a lot of really good options in right now, and I would talk about them, but Andrew, do you want to talk about them? Because instead, I need to eat some chicharrones.
That was a big wide open mouth, bro. If you are looking for a GMT, do you want it in green with an oyster? All jokes aside, here's the different options. Here's blue, which is Batgirl, Sprite, and then we have the Pepsi. If you guys wanted to see those side by side, and then we have the GRNR, which is the two-tone. Which one would you guys go with? Leave it down in the comments. Which one would you guys go with? But yeah, if you want a GMT or if you want a sub, we have pretty much all the options. The only cool one that I don't have, because it just got announced, is the new stainless steel GRNR. It's all black dial with the green GMT hand. It has the gray and black bicolored bezel, and hopefully we get one of those in shortly. I've seen them come into the market. They're still kind of a little overpriced right now. I think they're gonna end up coming down. They're around like 25,000-ish. That's a cool option. I love that they brought that GMT back with the Jubilee bracelet. So Mariner, we have a 41mm date. We have another 41mm. This is a 40mm in the no date. We have a 16610. This one I believe is an L serial, so it's 1989. Man, we have a lot of no dates. Holy cow, 4 no dates. So here's the Mark II bezel. Starbucks. It's a little more yellowish than the previous Mark I bezel, which is a little more bluish, grayish, kind of muted. And then I have a 116613 in the black dial, two-tone Submariner. Really cool watch for those who like two-tone. Here's the Submariner and the GMT. Which one would you go with? What are some other cool watches that have come in this week? This is a cool one. This is an Onyx dial, 16018. Stone dial Onyx back in the day, and this is a date just, by the way. This isn't a day date, which is a little more rare than the day dates are. This one comes naked, but it's a really spectacular piece. Finding these stone dials is not very easy, and whenever they're in good condition, it just makes it that much better. So then I have a double quick champagne. Whoever is looking for a double quick, this one's $17,000. Really good deal on this one. I don't know why I like this so much. I put this on my story the other day.
Want me to leave?
No, I don't want you to leave, but the Yachtmaster 42 in titanium. I'm sorry. Especially good for the summer. I think it's because last summer I wore that titanium offshore. I wore it literally all summer long. It was so comfortable, super lightweight. I also marvel at the grade 5 titanium stuff, and my gosh. I know for the price point, like you can get a lot of different watches for this price.
You can get close to that offshore titanium for that price too.
Yeah, you could. This one's $33,000, which is probably one of the cheapest ones out there.
Yeah, currently.
Right now.
2024, a little over a week old, maybe. Brand new. Has, I'm pretty sure, almost every sticker except for one on the lug. Minus that, it comes with absolutely everything. It's a full set. I've been excited to see that one. This is one that me and Josh are working on and got in. This is the AP Chronograph Royal Oak. It's the blue dial, and this one is special because it is the 50th. And I'm gonna cover up the serial number, but you can see this 50 right here on this watch is what makes this particular watch very special. When they came out with these watches back in 2022, or this reference number I should say, it was the 50th anniversary. So they went ahead and did the 50th on the rotor, and only the ones that were sold in 2022 are going to have that. And so even if you have a brand new one right now, the 50th and the brand new ones, so this one right here, for market pricing, the 50th is like the same price as a brand new one. And going down the line, the 50th is going to be the one that's going to hold its value more because they only sold them for a year. We had both of them in stock for about a week. I just sold the other one, so the 50th as of right now is still available. So if you're looking for this watch, feel free to reach out.
What other ones you like that we got in within the last week or so?
This one right here, the chocolate dial Daytona. This is a beautiful watch. That chocolate dial and the rose gold, especially on the Daytona, something that looks a little bit more dressed up. The chocolate dial just, it gives it that little extra pop to it, which looks really nice, and it flows really nice with the rose gold. This one is a 2022, comes as a complete set.
We got, oh, this is actually a really good deal too. We just got this one in last week as well.
This is a white gold John Mayer. It does have a factory blue dial, and this watch was a client of ours. However, he did end up losing the box and papers for it. We know it originated from knowing that it's coming from a good client like this. However, we also get these watches fully authenticated, and I always tell people this: do not buy a naked watch unless you have a strong relationship with the person that you are buying it from. Here at Woven, we do every watch that comes in, we have fully authenticated, and before it comes out on the floor, we know everything about that watch and where it originated from. We don't sell watches with any Frankenstein parts. This watch right here is all original. It is a factory blue John Mayer, and so you do get the full John Mayer look and everything, and this is an authentic John Mayer. However, it does not have the box and papers, which to some people that just doesn't matter, especially if you're just looking at price and you want to save a few bucks. This is a John Mayer for under $40,000, and I'll let you guys go ahead and go on our website to see exactly what its price priced at, but this is a very good deal for somebody who's been wanting something like this.
I sent you 55, a good price for you. Online right now, I do have it 56.5. I'm gonna work with you on this one if you like it. I don't know what your taste is on this one. I know what type of deals you like and everything, and I can work with you on this one. For you, I'd go 51.5. I just wanted to throw it your way in case there was one. I also have the baby Le Mans, and I could probably do a good price for you on that one too. All right, I'll send it your way. Thanks, Donnie. Got to get some good prices for Donnie. Actually, it is kind of tough to shop for Donnie sometimes because while I'm looking, I'm like, I know what type of value he likes, what type of deals he likes, and I'm still learning his taste in regards to watches, but I know what he thinks regarding business and market from the first couple deals that we did. So I know he's gonna be a little more particular, and I'm starting to offer him some of the best valued offers that we have in store right now, and I've got a couple on the table, and now it looks like we're narrowing down. Maybe we'll take a look at the Baby Le Mans on Oyster Flex. Sick piece. If you haven't seen it, check our website at wolven.com. And we'll see if Donnie likes it.